the quantum soul. I don't know who needs to hear this today, but if you've been wrestling with thoughts of doubt, with that whisper that says you're not enough, if fear and worry have wrapped around your chest and the future feels heavy in your hands, I need you to know something. You are not alone. Every soul since the dawn of creation has wrestled with that same ache, the yearning to understand, who am I? Why am I here? Am I really worthy of the light that I pray for? This, my friend, is the oldest story in the universe, the meeting place between divine perfection and human imperfection, where heaven's breath meets dust. I know what it feels like to sit awake at night and wonder if God still remembers you, to replay the same old memories, to wrestle with anxiety about what comes next. I know because I've been there too. And that's exactly where this message begins, in the tension between faith and fear, between logic and longing. What I'm going to share today might sound unusual for some to hear, perhaps controversial in ideals. Yet if you stay with me through this message, I believe there is something here that will resonate with every soul on the planet. Because I'm about to weave together conversations that have for far too long lived in separate rooms, separate places. Science and spirit, quantum mechanics and scripture, physics, energetic sound resonance and electromagnetic field, language, frequency, quantum field theory, personal development and biblical truths, neuroscience and faith. For generations, we were told that these were opposing worlds, opposite ideals. But I have come to understand that these are not enemies. They are two languages describing the same mystery. So today, we are going to stand in the common ground, the sacred intersection where physics meets prophecy, where energy meets eternity, where personal development meets divine design. Because truth in every dialect still points to the same God. Let's start with something simple yet profound. Neuroscience confirms what Proverbs declared thousands of years ago. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Our words carry frequency. They vibrate through the field of creation. They instruct reality how to form. Everything, sound, thought, emotion moves in waves. Even your body is a symphony of frequencies, playing in tune or out of tune with your belief structure. And life, my dear beloved, is the grand mirror reflecting those vibrations back to you. What are you calling into being by thought alone? It can only meet you at the level of energy you emit out into the world, the level of energy you exist at in any given moment. If we live in worry and fear, life echoes back confusion, scarcity, and distortion. Yet when we choose gratitude, faith, and expectancy, that same mirror reflects beauty, provision, peace, and even joy. This is not magic. This is resonance. It's the same way radio frequencies work. If you've tuned to one station, you can't be surprised when you cannot hear another. You must adjust the dial to the frequency of the sound that you desire to receive. So if you want to experience joy, we must tune our hearts to joy. If we want to experience abundance, we must think and speak and believe and feel abundance. Because what we focus on expands. What we think about, we bring about. What we call forth into existence, the thoughts, the feelings, and the emotions that we hold most prevalent in our mind, our very being at our core. Even the word emotion is at its core energy in motion. What we repeatedly believe becomes embodied truth. It shapes our very reality. As Paul wrote in Philippians 4:8, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is pure, think on these things. This timeless verse in Scripture encourages focusing one's thoughts on positive and virtuous things, such as whatever is true, honorable, right, pure, lovely, admirable, excellent, or praiseworthy. Different versions of Scripture may use slightly different wording, but the core message is about directing your mind and your focus towards good and uplifting subjects. This instruction suggests that people can control their thought life and should intentionally choose to focus on what is good and uplifting. Paul was teaching quantum law long before we ever even had language for it. We are human beings, finite flesh, trying to understand infinite spirit. We are dust animated by divine breath. Matter infused with meaning, and inside this fragile frame, we wrestle between two worlds, our temporal limitations and our eternal longing. We doubt, we fear, we fall short. Yet within those struggles lies the invitation to remember that we were made in the image of the Creator Himself. Every time you say, I am, you echo His name. When Moses asked, who shall I say sent me? God replied, I am that I am. So every I am statement that follows is either aligning you with heaven's truth or contradicting it. Say, I am broken, and the vibration moves through the field to match your energy and your belief structure. Say, I am beloved, and creation rearranges to agree with that very statement. Energy responds to belief. Belief is the bridge between what is unseen and what appears. That's why Jesus said, according to your faith, be it unto you. Faith is not wishful thinking. It's frequency alignment. When your inner world and your outer confession match, the miraculous becomes inevitable. Now understand this. We don't raise our vibration by pretending that pain is not real. That's fake. It's false. And the universe, which is comprised of energy, will recognize truth and falsehoods every single time. We raise it by boldly, courageously, vulnerably facing our pain with faith. By acknowledging that what we're feeling in a moment's time, allowing our body to fully process the feeling, yet determined to move through the vibration, letting it pass through our existence while refusing to stay stuck in the frequency and vibration of what we know we don't want in our lives. We call forth something better. We allow ourselves to be transformed through the process, yet determine that our pain or challenge does not become our identity. By allowing the dark night of the soul to teach us what light could not. By healing the wounds that keep whispering, unworthy, not enough, too late. Because until those frequencies are released, until they are healed and called back into restoration, renewal, and transformation, we will keep attracting mirrors of our unhealed and broken parts into our very existence. The very things that we don't want to attract in our lives are served up on a platter like we placed an order at a window from a menu for the very things that we hold most prevalent in our minds. The world will always reflect back what we secretly believe about ourselves, our identity at its core. If we think we are undeserving, we unconsciously reject blessings. We block the flow of abundance and blessings. If we believe we are beloved children of God, we open portals of grace, abundance, and flow. Someone type, open the floodgates of miracles, provision, blessings, and abundance in the comments below. This is the merging point where ordinary becomes the miraculous, We receive not what we wish for, but what we are prepared to hold, what we believe we are worth. Beloved, hear this. You were never meant to live small. You were designed as a vessel of divine possibility. But God will not pour new wine into old skins. He cannot pour overflow into a cup convinced that it is unworthy to receive. It's an energetic mismatch. So before miracle shows up in matter, in form, we must first accept it in mind. We must believe before we receive. At heart, spirit, and soul level, we must first feel it, believe it with our emotions and might and our very being. That's what faith is. We have to decide, I am ready, I am worthy, I am chosen. That's the moment frequency rises. That's when heaven finds resonance. That's when what you've prayed for finds its way into form. You see, everything is worship. Your thoughts are prayers. Your emotions are electricity. Your words are waves. Together they form the song of your life. And the universe, God's own orchestra, plays in response to your melody. It matches your vibration. If one instrument is out of tune, fear, shame, bitterness, unworthiness, the entire symphony sounds dissonant, distorted, off key. But when love enters, when gratitude leads, when you remember whose breath is inside you, the one who created you, the harmony returns. This is the essence of how energy, faith, and consciousness meet. And that's only the beginning, because from here we will step into how to sustain that coherence, how to turn revelation into rhythm, how to let word become flesh again within you. There comes a moment in every life when information is no longer enough. You can quote every verse, read every book on energy and mindset, but still feel hollow inside. That's when journey moves from the mind to the heart, from knowing about truth to becoming and embodying truth. The heart is more than a metaphor. It is an instrument of perception. Science tells us that the heart generates the largest electromagnetic field in the entire body. Why do you think that is? Scripture tells us, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The ancients already knew your heart is the altar where energy and eternity meet and collide. So close your eyes for a moment. Place your hand on your chest. Can you feel that pulse? That rhythm. That rhythm has been beating since the beginning of time. A private conversation between you and the divine. Each beat says you are still chosen. Each breath whispers, there is more. When you breathe consciously, you synchronize your inner world. You become aligned in coherence, in symphony. When thought and emotion agree, the field around you shifts. Fear contracts it. Gratitude expands it. That is what modern researchers call coherence. But heaven calls it agreement, covenant. And where two or more agree, even if those two are your mind and your heart, there God is in the midst. Beloved, healing is not the absence of pain. It is the moment you stop asking, why did this happen to me? And you start asking instead, what is this awakening within me? What is my opportunity to learn, to grow, to expand within this challenge? What is this teaching me? Every wound you have carried has a frequency, an identity of code, the vibration of memory and emotion. When you face it, feel it, forgive it, let it go, you release the vibration, you clear the energetic slate clean, and you make room for light. Think of it as the tuning of a stringed instrument. Right now, I want you to picture a violin or a guitar. Got it? If one string is pulled too tight by bitterness, it snaps. If it hangs too loose from apathy, it falls silent. Healing is the gentle tuning, forgiveness here, compassion there, grace here, mercy there, patience, understanding, love, until your whole being hums in harmony again. You're synchronized. This is the state of coherence, flow. And as the harmony rises, the mirror of life responds in turn. People begin to treat you the way you have begun to treat yourself. Opportunities appear that match your new song. You're operating at a different frequency. You've raised your vibration, and in so doing, you've set the pace for a new record to the collective of what is actually possible. Without even realizing it, you raise the vibration of everyone around you. You have raised the standard of what is possible, and you invite others to calibrate to that raised frequency of vibration. Not because the universe suddenly noticed you, but because you finally started vibrating at the frequency of the blessing. This is where miracles become possible. This is what Jesus meant when he said, according to your faith, be it unto you. Faith is not a wish, it is alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and words vibrate as one frequency of trust, the field collapses in form. Miracles are simply matter rearranging to match the sound and the vibration of your belief. So speak life with new language. Say, I am healed. I am whole, and I am loved. Even before you see evidence, say it, because the word does not return void. It travels through light, through time, until it finds resonance and returns as reality. Before I close, I want to share something personal with you. This message, this weaving of science, scripture, and soul feels like a story that I've been carrying and scripting since before I even had words for it. For as long as I can remember, even as a child, I would see patterns and synchronicities everywhere, in everything. How one moment links to the next. How every encounter, every joy, every ache threads and weaves itself into the larger tapestry. Everything has divinely interwoven threads in the grand tapestry of life. It has always seemed to me that life moves like a divine equation. Every variable, every delay, every detour, somehow returning to the same road, the same lesson, the same heart of God, the creator of all. For years, I wrestled with how to speak about it, how to articulate and put thoughts into words. How to take what I sensed and what I saw in the world around me and translate it into a language that others could feel and understand, while still honoring and respecting the creation, the God in everything. It felt like the language of the soul. And lately, I've come to realize there has never been a more urgent time to speak it than now. Look around us. Headlines, economies, cultures, faiths, politics, impending wars, global instability, political corruption, economic collapse, tragedies playing out on a very public stage. Nations are crying out for leaders to bring order from chaos, all vibrating with the possibility and the hope for change. Could it be that these global shakings are preparing the way not just for another earthly leader, but for the arrival of God's elect one? For when the elect one takes his throne, wars will cease, tears will be wiped away, and weapons of war will be repurposed for peaceful, productive activities, disarmament, the beginning of an era of peace and prosperity, abundance and creation over destruction. This is the moment that creation has been longing for. This is the eternal longing for justice that has been etched into your very soul. Take a breath. You can feel it, can't you? A great shifting in the collective soul of humanity, a crescendo of energy that transcends politics, religion, culture, borders, even geography. Different languages, different traditions, yet beneath them all, one ache, one longing to remember that we belong to each other through unity, not division. We are made stronger through community, united towards one goal, not weakened by our differences, but balanced because of them. Strengthened by the very bonds that enemies would choose to exploit in order to weaken us. It's the oldest tactic in the playbook of war. Across the world, people are sensing the same turning of seasons. Prophets, scientists, rabbis, pastors, teachers, artists, creatives, each in their own dialect are pointing toward the same truth, that mercy, forgiveness, and awakening are rising again. That we are being called back to oneness, wholeness. And in that convergence, I see confirmation of what I've felt since childhood. That everything is so intricately, divinely interconnected that the pattern has always been leading us here, right here. It feels as if humanity is standing on the threshold of something new, a doorway where we can finally see that what divides us has always been an illusion. And what unites us is the divine pulse beating in every human heart. Our very humanity. The time to speak light into the noise is now. The time to be one body, one breath, one song is now. To everyone listening who still feels broken, who still wakes up heavy, hear this. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are the space where grace is learning to shine. You are the continuation of Genesis. God is still speaking creation through you. And if the night feels long, remember, the dark is not the enemy of light. It is the womb of it. Seeds grow in soil, in darkness, before they reach the sun. So let the silence work. Let the waiting ripen you, season you, prepare you. What feels like delay is often divine incubation. The time has come to rise, not with striving, not with hustle, but with surrender. In stillness, in those still, small, quiet moments, the in-between moments where preparation meets destiny. Lay down the stories that keep you small. Release the guilt that keeps replaying old versions of you in that internal dialogue. Rewrite the script. Or better yet, surrender your personal story or life narrative to God, the divine author, so that your past failures can be redeemed and repurposed. Instead of trying to rewrite the story on your own, surrender the pen to the divine author of all in existence. He will speak life into your narrative, taking the tangled threads of your mess and weaving them carefully, intricately into a powerful message of redemption. Your personal testimony of faith will become a living testament to His faithfulness. From your mess to divine message. This transformation means allowing your past struggles, heartaches, and mistakes to become a source of wisdom and purpose. Your pain can be used to help encourage others who are going through similar hardships. From your testimony to a living testament, your testimony is your personal account of what God has done in your life, what He's brought you out of or delivered you from. A testament in the biblical sense is a covenant or a public declaration of truth. By surrendering your life, your personal story becomes a tangible, enduring proof of God's redemptive power, much like the two testaments of the Bible. Ultimately, this is a call to surrender control and trust that your life story, directed by God, will be more beautiful, more purposeful than anything you could possibly imagine. Invite God to rewrite the script from the inside out. Romans 8 says, "The Spirit Himself bears witness to our spirit that we are the children of God." That means that heaven has already called you worthy. Your only task now is to accept, to agree. So today, choose to agree with light. Choose to agree with love. Choose to agree with possibility. Lift your frequency through forgiveness. Raise your vibration through gratitude. Anchor your faith through action. And watch how quickly reality catches up. Because the world cannot give you peace. It can only echo the peace that you carry within. When you shift, everything shifts. When you heal, generations after you feel it. In fact, many people are not even aware of this very profound revelation. Lean in and listen to this. When you heal, you become the generational curse breaker that frees the ancient ancestors within your family lineage of those who came before you who left this world unhealed. Those who were not able to overcome the traumas and generational patterns of wrong thinking passed down through the family lineage from those who came before them within their lifetime. Therefore, your healing frees not only you, but the souls who came before you. When this karmic energetic cycle is cleared, there is celebration, an uplifting, an uprising flow of energy that reverberates across time and space and lineages, that frees the souls of an entire family lineage. It also frees the future downline lineage of future generations to come within your life legacy, your children's children. Your legacy becomes one of healing, redemption, truth, grace, and God's enduring love for His creation. When you speak life, creation leans forward to listen. If you remember nothing else from these words, remember this. You are the living proof that heaven still believes in earth. You are the evidence of what happens when light takes form and dares to call itself human. So do not hide your radiance. Do not apologize for your becoming. You were created for a time such as this, to be a bridge between worlds, to show that science and spirit, logic and love are not rivals, but a reflection of one truth. God is in all, through all, sustaining all. Now breathe. Feel the Spirit move through that breath. Every inhale, let every inhale remind you that you are filled with possibility. Let every exhale release the weight that never belonged to you in the first place. Release the lies, untruths, and identity that was unjustly placed upon you that are not meant to be a part of your divine identity. This is your reset. This is your resurrection. May your mind be renewed. May your heart be whole. And may your words carry light. And may your life become the prayer that never ends. You are seen. You are loved. You are already healing. You are divine wisdom and purpose in form. You are God's creation and divine love embodied in human form. And the miracle has already begun. Thank you. Please share this with someone that needs to hear this message today. Be blessed and be a blessing upon the world. Thank you. Take care.